Now I love small capable off-roaders, just like the Fiat Panda 4x4, which was the David to the Range Rover's Goliath. But you can't buy those new anymore, so does this Honda Jazz Crosstar scratch the same itch?
Now the Jazz Crosstar costs almost 10 grand more than the outgoing Panda 4x4, so what do you get for all that extra cash?
Now what we loved about the Panda was how approachable its design was, and the Crosstar is very similar, dare we say even jazzy, with its cute face, lovely honeycomb grille here, revised front bumper which makes it look extra beefy, as does this cladding here, which you'd think makes it four-wheel drive. It's actually not, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, which we'll get onto later. Black mirrors, handles, sturdy-ish roof rails. Come around the back, another revised bumper here, and a little integrated towing eye, which hopefully we don't need later in this video. This wouldn't be a proper Honda Jazz if it wasn't practical, and the Crosstar certainly is, with a 304 litre boot that can fit up to 3 of these Pelican cases, which you can fit them on an airplane. And then underneath you've got this plastic cladding here, which once you finally get that up, you've got this storage under here which you can put, I don't know, ice cubes, milk, that sort of thing, just extra luggage that you haven't got space for. And then once you finally get it back down, you can fold these rear seats and that grows to 1,205 litres of space, which is pretty sizable for a hatchback. And if that's not enough space for you, check out the magic seats at the back, which you simply fold up very, very easily. You can store anything in here, if you're moving house, whatever. You walk straight through. Now I bet you can't do that in your Range Rover. Now the interior is supposed to be just as rugged as the exterior. So Honda's done this by adding these lovely fabric seats so you can unzip, wash them easily. It's got nice big pockets here, extra storage up there. The seats are really nice. You've got lots of hard wearing plastics. You can put water bottle down there. Only negative is this isn't actually an armrest. But Honda does say the seats are waterproof. Now, if your passenger has an accident, like that, you just spray it off like that, no worries. And if you have an accident, there's ISOFIX points here and at the back, so everyone's sorted.
And just like the seats, the rear USB charge ports have covers on them to protect the electrical gubbins from any spillages.
Hop in the cabin and you're instantly greeted by a 2-spoke steering wheel, a bit like that of the Honda E. Feels really premium, really nice, we like it. Look through there, you've got the driver's display, which is a digital screen, quite small, sometimes a little bit messy, but you can change it a bit, and it's got fuel gauges on the side, so it kind of opens it up a bit. In the middle, your infotainment system here, which is quite well sized. Unfortunately, it doesn't tilt towards the driver, so you do get a little bit of glare, but it's not the end of the world. It's really smooth, works really nicely. You've got wireless Apple CarPlay if you're an iPhone user. Unfortunately, if you've got an Android phone, it's wired only. That's a bit of a problem because you only get USB-A in the front, but you get USB-C chargers in the back. We don't know either why they did that, who knows. But yeah, you might want to get an adapter. There's also a 12-volt socket here, which is really handy. And then the gearbox works really smooth, especially the Econ mode, which we'll touch on later, because the MPG in this is actually quite surprising. And down here, you've got a place to put water. The water doesn't actually fit in here, but you know, you can put keys in there. Glove box, store your wires or sweets or tissues or whatever. It's quite well sized. But then up here, you've got a cup holder here, but also one up here. And this means that you can have your drinks heated or cooled, depending on what you want. There's also a rear glove box and an upper glove box, because why not? So the reason anyone buys a Honda Jazz is for fuel economy, let's be honest. It's just one of those really frugal cars that gets you anywhere, and it's quite cheap to run, especially this one. So we've been averaging 55.9 mpg, which we think is really impressive. It's just shy of its claimed 58 mpg. But I mean, you can't really complain with that, can you? It's powered by a 1.5 litre self-charging hybrid engine. Now that means that you don't need to plug it in at the end of the day. It charges as you drive. So when you lift off or brake, it pumps a little bit of juice back into that battery to get it up. And then when you're driving slowly around town, it flips into EV mode, like a Toyota Prius, for example, and just you drive along in pure EV. It's quite pleasant. So let's talk about handling. Now this isn't really a sports car, let's be honest. It's nowhere near a sports car. But if you compare it to a Panda 4x4, it handles much nicer. Okay, it's got a little bit of a raised ride height over the standard Jazz, about 30 millimeters, which is substantial. But when you do a bit of cornering, you do feel it, you do wobble around a bit, but it's nothing bad. And the Panda was a lot worse. I've been in one of those and you really feel the body roll in that. But this, it's fine. And despite its ride height, it does sort of jitter around a little bit on some bumps. It's relatively smooth overall, so if you go driving around town, you might hit the odd pothole or bump, and you do feel it a little bit. On the motorway, it's absolutely fine. There is a little bit of wind noise you get. Turn your music up, you don't notice it at all. In terms of visibility, it's really good in here. It feels a bit like a greenhouse at times. You've got really big windows. The windscreen at the front goes really far down, which is really handy. And you've got these sort of quarter light windows at the front here, they're really handy when you're pulling out of a junction or onto a roundabout or something. You can really see. And look around the back, absolutely fine, no worries there. For the people that are going to be driving this and buying this, which is probably your nan, they're going to absolutely love this car. It's fuel efficient, nice to drive, pleasant to drive. We can't really complain about it. So I'm just coming up to some parked cars now. I'm going to do a reverse parallel park. Let's see what the camera's like. So if I line up, stop there, flick it into reverse, and you've got 3 different camera options here. So you've got the standard one, which just looks back. Then you've got one that's sort of a little bit more zoomed in, so you can see a little bit more of what you're doing. And the third one looks right down. So if there's a bollard or something behind you, you can easily just get out of the way of it. The resolution isn't the best, it's not the greatest, but you know, it's fine. You can see what you're doing. You're not going to see anything clearly, but you can see bits. And obviously visibility is good because I can look around me, and then when you're closer to the back, flick it into third camera if you need to, and know exactly where you need to stop. One of my least favourite features about this car is the gearbox. It's a CVT gearbox, and Honda have called this the e-CVT, which basically means it works with the electric motors just to make it a little bit more efficient, a little bit smoother. It's a very efficient gearbox, which helps me get that 55.9 mpg, but if you listen to it, it's very noisy. Yeah. Granted, it is smooth with that e-CVT bit, but really it's very noisy, it's very drony, it's not very pleasant to listen to. Now, I had a CVT gearbox in my car up until very recently, and it was very efficient, but it's very boring, it's got no drama to it. But then people who buy this car aren't looking for drama or excitement, they just want a car to get them from A to B. So the buyer, or your nan, who will probably be buying this car, is going to absolutely love it. So I've had another think about the price, and £29,000 for this is quite dear, especially when you consider its rivals range anywhere from £20,000 to £25,000 when new. But for the same money, you can get anything from a Mini Cooper S all the way up to a BMW X3 on cinch. And if the Jazz is giving you the blues, why not check out the Suzuki Swift Hybrid review to get another car with great fuel economy.